First and now, a presentation of World Vision Canada, national charity partner of your BC Lions. You can visit bclions.com/worldvision to become a supporter. This is a special episode for those getting the notification wherever you get your podcasts. No, it's not an early podcast. It's a special extra podcast. Moments ago, Bo Lokombo announcing his retirement from pro football. So we're going to talk to Bo about his career, about his dedication to World Vision Canada, and some of the great stuff that they've been doing there with our national charity partner. Nik Kowalski with me as always. First of all, Happy New Year. And special episode, bittersweet episode, but a man who's worthy of getting all the flowers, as the kids say, Bo Lokombo. Not just for his football playing days, but we've talked about his commitment to World Vision.
Yeah, special dude. Obviously, a great human being too. Being the World Vision Canada ambassador, we saw all the trip he made to Kenya with all the other ambassadors and all the great stuff that came from that as being an ambassador and all the awareness factor of that. But then, he was someone that when I came here in 2022, that I was excited to get to work with. I had the pleasure of first off going. I went to Kelowna with him on a Play with the Pros trip.
That's right.
Because he was so big in the community, obviously being a local guy. But I went to Prince George with him for another Play with the Pros. So I remember we got lunch after it in Prince George in the mall. We were talking about the Lakers. I know it was right before the NBA playoffs, so he's a big Lakers guy. So we were talking basketball for like 20 minutes. He was someone that you could just talk the breeze with about pretty much anything, typically sports, because that's what he loves. I know he's a big Ravens guy, which we'll get into and all that, but tremendous athlete too, scored a couple touchdowns in his career. Unfortunately, right. It's funny, the one touchdown I got the film of his was when we were getting our butts kicked in Winnipeg, but hey, it's still a professional touchdown.
2023, right?
Yeah, the 50, the donut or the 50 burger I think they put on us. But anyways, to get off their heels there, but a special person, pretty epic career, local boy. It's got to go to Oregon too, pretty crazy career. 9 CFL seasons, 8 of them with BC. There was a year in Montreal and a year where he tried the NFL sandwiched in there. So call it a decade-long pro football Toronto
career.
Argos legend.
That's right, yeah. There should be a series on players who were on different teams for 2020 but never played.
Yeah.
We had Micah Johnson here.
Micah Alway was a bomber.
Yeah.
Toby Antigua, I think, was there too.
Was Nick Arbuckle somewhere, or he ended up playing for Toronto and Ottawa, right?
One of those teams, but he's part of that crew,
Not to get this off the rails, I was in this building, the Lions facility, the day he got drafted. Back when the CFL draft had a bit more of a media turnout for the actual draft. Jamie Cartmell, the previous director of communications, would have a spot like this for the working media. They would serve Tim Hortons and stuff, and you just get to hang out while they were making picks. And Mike Benavides, the head coach at the time, would come in every half an hour to do different availabilities, talking about each pick. And then lo and behold, Bo Lokombo, and I think it was round 3. And that was you could tell they were excited to get him. It was a long-term investment. It was a guy they knew was going back to college, but never forget being here when they drafted him, and now here we are.
So he probably would have went earlier, right? If they already knew he was going back to school for a year to play at Oregon. But yeah, pretty crazy career for Bo, and it's exciting to see it come to an end. But he deserves a family time. That's something that's important to him too, as we'll get into with him. But NFL stints and all that, good for him.
Heck of an individual too, and we'll bring him in just a minute. Tell you as well that the BC Lions and World Vision have teamed up to provide you with a super deal to enjoy BC Lions football and help World Vision in 2025. You can order your World Vision pack today, starting at $110, and receive 2 tickets to the game of your choice. With this awesome BC Lions World Vision hat that Nik Kowalski is wearing for those watching this podcast. And Bo will be sporting his when he's watching the games, no doubt. So, again, head to bclions.com. You save $30. And again, proceeds from every World Vision pack sold will help World Vision provide life-saving food and hope to children and families.
And we got your brand new schedule to pick your games from now. So that's exciting news here.
About time. Patience comes to those, or all good things come to those who are patient.
Yeah. I mean, it's still January. You can plan your whole summer out now. BC Lions games, all of that. Yeah.
Can't wait. Mark those dates. Head to bclions.com to learn more And without further ado, we'll get to Bo Lokombo to talk about his decision to retire, highlights, world vision, all of it coming up on this special edition of First and Now. First and Now is brought to you by World Vision Canada, national charity partner of the BC Lions. Visit bclions.com/worldvision to become a supporter. Nik Kowalski and I are both supporters, and the man we're talking to right now, definitely a supporter. It is Bo Lokombo, number 20 in your digital program for the BC Lions. Bo, welcome back to the program.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, it is a special episode. Let's get right to that right away, as just moments ago, you announced yourself that you are calling it a career, a decade-long plus pro football career, majority of that time spent with the BC Lions. Bo, congratulations, first of all. It has to be a bittersweet day, but why is the time now to step away?
It's been a decade of playing. I felt like it was the right time. I felt like, after so many years, the work and all the memories and everything that was involved within these last 10 years, I felt like now it was the right time. My family is getting bigger. Everyone's growing. I felt like I wanted to spend more time with the family. And I felt like I had accomplished everything in, while being a player, obviously besides winning the Grey Cup. I felt like everything else I've done, I got everything out of football from, a family, kids, winning awards, playing at a high level, competing at the highest level, creating amazing memories with teammates, going over the process of the off-season training, and then having to come back and, be part of a new team. And, every year is different. Every year it's a different team, different roster. I just felt like now it was the time, 10 years in, I have so many people to thank, starting with the Lions organization for drafting me back in 2013 and, really helping me just being part of the organization and becoming a man, at 34 years old, I felt like it was the right time. And also just family as well. I wanted to be closer with my family again, like I said. And I feel good about it. No regrets. The only thing I'm going to miss is competing with my brothers, competing for a championship. Not getting the chance to be in it and playing in it, that's one thing that will suck, but I'm going to be cheering on the guys and, being a supporter of not only the Lions, but the CFL in whole.
Take us back, 2013. I was actually in the facility here working for Team 1040 Radio, as it was known at the time, and they selected you, and everyone kind of knew you weren't going to be here for a year. But what do you remember about that day and getting the call? Would it have been Wally or Benny that called you? What was that day like for you?
In 2013, I believe it was Wally that called me and told me. It's funny because I was actually taking a test. I was still at the university. I was actually just coming out of a class after a test, and I got a call and messages on my phone. And I remember maybe like a couple minutes later, Wally called me and said, "Hey, we've selected you. You're gonna be aligned." And I was a little bit shocked because I was kind of like, so focused with passing this test, right? Like, because school was such a big thing. I still had some credits to finish up, and I still had another year of school. And but when he called me, I felt really grateful. My hometown team drafted me, and I was pretty excited. And so after that, I started getting messages. Social media started blowing up. My mom, my dad congratulating me. family calling me, hey, we just seen you on TSN. You just got drafted. Whoop de whoop. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And yeah, and like the rest of the day, it was just an amazing day. I remember even my college teammates heard the news and they started to congratulate me. Mind you, a lot of them didn't even know what the CFL was. And so they're, calling me saying, oh, you got drafted? Oh, we're playing with the pro now, like joking around with me. But yeah, it was a pretty special moment. It was really cool. And, and then I did the year. I wanted to get my degree first. I felt like I probably could have left early and joined the Lions in 2013, but I felt like it was right for me to get my degree first and, chase the NFL as well, because that's always been a goal, from the beginning, getting to the NFL, which I was able to do, but getting there, playing at the highest level and eventually coming back to home and playing in BC. And it just happened that everything happened the way it was supposed to. And I am extremely blessed, grateful. And yeah, I mean, 10 years in, man, 10 years in, baby, that's a blessing.
Well, Bo, first off, congratulations on your remarkable career. But you mentioned, getting drafted from the University of Oregon, and we'll get into your career there in a bit too. But you talked about your teammates that said they were happy for you to go pro. And I feel like there's still that narrative out there that a university like the University of Oregon, like a big Power 5 school, people always think like, oh, they could compete with the CFL team or whatever that comparison is, right? But maybe just talk about your early memories and talking about the jump to the pro level from collegiate, even though you're at this big Power 5 school, like playing professional football with guys like Manny Arsenault and Solomon Elimimian. Like that was a big step for you in your career, right? In terms of the talent level.
Absolutely. I mean, the first thing that I noticed right away was how fast the game was. Mind you, I grew up in BC, and BC in high school, you play fourth down football, right? You don't play third down. And so all I ever knew was four down football from high school, from middle school, high school, college, and now I'm in the CFL playing Canadian rules. I didn't realize how fast everything was. It was a big adjustment for me. Luckily, though, I was well prepared. Coming from Oregon, we were already quite prepared in terms of practice. We had Chip Kelly. Everything with Chip Kelly was fast. Food, everything was fast. So I was well prepared with the speed, but even still, I didn't realize how fast everybody was on teams, right? My rookie year, I played majority on special teams. I came in 2014, September 8th, 2014 is when I signed my contract, but I didn't play until maybe like 2 weeks after I signed. I don't remember who we played exactly the first team, but I remember like just lining up on punt and having to run down the field and the guy being right there with me. So in terms of that, the speed, everybody's strong, and just the strategy is completely different. So when people say, oh, college teams could come up and beat a CFL team, they're in for a rude awakening, because it's not what they think. It's a big adjustment, and it's I love the CFL game. Even though I grew up playing four down football, I used to watch the CFL. Got Giro Simon was a big guy. It was a big deal around BC. He used to come. I knew him from a personal level, but guys like Giro, guys like Ryan Phillips, as a young boy, as a young athlete trying to make it to that level, you knew what it was, and it was cool for me to be part of that, once I got in.
Yeah, and you obviously started to succeed quite early, making that transition all the way to the NFL in 2017 for a bit there. What are some of your NFL memories like? Like you spent time in Baltimore, Oakland, and San Francisco, right? And those are three pretty prestigious, clubs. And I know you're a Ravens fan too, right? So that must have been a kind of a dream come true to be able to go to a Ravens training camp and all that.
Oh yeah. It was a dream come true for sure. I mean, it was cool. I mean, I went through the whole process, did OTAs, did all the phases. I played 2 years with BC, right? And when I left, it was the first time when I left away from BC, signed with the Ravens. You started OTAs. The first thing I remember was how often they worked out. We literally worked out every day in the gym, every day, working out, lifting Monday all the way through Saturday. I'm lifting hard, not just a little bit, lifting hard. And then the training, I remember the training being so intense. But like I love the process. I love having to go through the off season, having to restart again and do the training, PRing, getting your max, all that. I love doing that. So when I got there, I felt like I was home already. So we lifted a lot. Lots of meetings. All right, lots of meetings. And then just guys being locked in. But as far as the guys, the actual, guys, the relationship, it's all the same. NFL, CFL, it's all the same. The schedule, it's very similar. Again, the only difference I would say is just like more meetings in the NFL. That's one of the first things I noticed. And it was a good experience for me to be there and to be part of that.
Yeah, I guess Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs set quite a standard in that Baltimore facility. Hey, were you playing safety or linebacker in Baltimore? I don't remember.
When I came in, I was playing middle linebacker.
Oh yeah, so a linebacker on the Ravens.
Yeah. And then they moved me out to covering cover tight end because they saw my speed. I think one of the reasons why they signed me was because I ran a 4.5, or I think they said it was a really low in the high fours, 4.49, 40, and they were impressed by my speed.
So that's quite a whirlwind 2017, right? And then you end up back here in 2018. If I recall, it was pretty close to training camp. We were kind of getting ready to go, and in the office here, I looked up, there's Bo Lokombo walking in. I guess he's here to sign a contract, which was great. But so a little bit of back and forth. You tried the NFL thing. We talked before we started recording about how you went to Montreal. But what are some of your, what accomplishments are you most proud of, Bo? Outstanding Canadian in 2021, that has to be up there, right?
Yeah, that's up there. If I look at my career in totality, I would say I'm proud of, getting a scholarship first and foremost, coming from a small hometown, Abbotsford, and being able to get a scholarship. And I had a few. I'm going to toot my own horn here, but I had over 10 to 15 scholarships, which was pretty cool from a guy who, started football late. I started playing football when I was 14 years old, right? Way later than the average. 14 years old, still ended up getting a scholarship from a prestigious school in Oregon. And so that was one. 2021, like you mentioned, that was a good one. That was a big one. That was a great year for me. And then, All-Star in 2015, that was pretty cool too. Man, but I wish we would have gone to the Grey Cup, man. Yeah. I remember one vivid memory was when Brian Burnham in 2015. Yeah, I believe it was 2015, or maybe it might have been 2016. That's that age. But I remember he caught that 2-point with that 1 foot drag.
2018.
The Hamilton game?
It was 2018. That's right.
Yeah.
He caught it.
The toe tap.
We beat Winnipeg to go play Calgary in the final. That was crazy. I remember that. Just going back to your question. Those were really good accomplishments right there.
And then George wanted us to reference, because I remember he was on this trip. You're a Montreal Alouette in 2019, and we roll in there, I think, with a 1-9 record. That was a crazy year, but the Lions kept that game pretty close, if I recall. Just kind of couldn't close it, which was a theme that year. But that big hit you delivered on, who was it? Wayne Moore? Was that the hardest hit you ever laid on someone?
I had one in college too that was pretty hard, but it's up there for sure. It's up there. That hit came from a personal, from the heart. That was personal. Yeah, I felt like I wanted to. In 2018, after discussing how the business goes, things don't work out. But I wanted to, I want to be a hometown kid. I didn't want to leave BC, but with the business how it is, sometimes it's not up to you. So I didn't sign back in 2019. So I left to Montreal, and I remember I circled that specific date on the calendar. Said, okay, I'm going to ball out this game, and for some reason, for some odd reason, they wanted me to play safety. They put me back there. They gave me 15 yards to come down and hit somebody.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
that's
Wayne
right.
Moore. I mean, if he does watch this, we've chopped it up. It's all good. But I just wanted to come down and just deliver everything. And I mean, the rest is history. I mean, it was the TSN top, whatever, right? They played even the other day. Somebody said, I saw you on TSN. You laid a hit like that. I remember after the game was over, man, my phone blew up. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. People were tagging me. Who is this? Oh my God! Whoa, 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 whoa! After the game, the crowd. Oh, that was a hit, man. That was your first time playing safety. Like just people like commenting and saying, "Wow, where did that come from?" I just the emoji sign, you know.
The Michael Jordan Last Dance thing. Yeah. Were you mic'd up? Were you wired that game too, or you don't remember?
Nah, I wasn't mic'd up.
Would have made sense, but yeah.
Bo, you said you played safety that game. I know you played some will linebacker, you played middle linebacker. Where did you like playing the best in your career? Like, where did you feel the most comfortable? Or did you play Sam at all too? Like, I know you kind of were versatile as many defenders are in this league.
I'm not gonna lie, playing safety was pretty cool. It was pretty. It was up because it just came out of nowhere, right? Or safety. We had Taylor Loeffler. You guys remember Taylor Loeffler?
Oh yeah, he was a big hitter.
Oh yeah,
he was a big signing.
UBC.
Got hurt. He tore his ACL, and that was it for him. So they needed a safety, and they knew I had a bit of safety history. In 2018, I was playing safety quite a bit with certain packages with Mark Washington's defense, and so 2019, Taylor Loeffler got hurt pretty early in the season, and they needed a safety, and so they put me back there. I had a little bit of experience, but I just I felt really comfortable playing safety. I felt like, my feet were right. I had the speed for it, the physicality, all that. And so I think safety was definitely one of my favorite. I've never played Sam. Will school, I played a little bit of Mike. And I was on the line a little bit too back in Oregon, rushing the quarterback. So I would say I like rushing, I like blitzing, and I love covering.
Gotta love that. Versatility is the key to a lengthy career. All right, and of course, another big part of your legacy, of course, and we can talk football with you all day, but World Vision Canada, of course, title sponsor of First and Now. We had yourself, George Chaika, and Enoch Mwamba, among others, on an episode last year to talk about your expedition to Kenya. But what did you learn about World Vision throughout your time here as the ambassador, Bo?
With World Vision, I learned that there's still a lot of work to be done. I learned that there's World Vision is doing a great job of helping people who are in need. They have a lot of different programs that they feel is benefiting people, back in Kenya. I think overall, though, they're just a great organization. They're great. One thing I know that I've realized is that, something might be wrong, something might be going on in your life, but there are some people who are in dire situations or who are in worse conditions than you. And it doesn't take much to, give a helping hand, whether that's donations, whether that's trying to get more, inquiring about what else you could help, like whatever that is. So there's a lot to be done still. I know I'm extremely grateful and just really grateful to be a part of it and to even help just a little bit, even if it's, being an ambassador or spreading the word out, telling people my journey and what I was able to do and what I was able to achieve with the team that we went to. There's still a lot to be done, but I'm very happy that I'm a part of it now.
It's been about 10 months since he did go back to Kenya on that trip with World Vision. And I know our fans have seen the footage now. The CFL is putting stuff out over Christmas, but one thing that I thought stood out from what you were saying was that you were going to tell your family these experiences and let them know like how good you have it in living in a first world country in a country like Canada. But in these past 10 months, like what other, is that what you've been doing? Just kind of spreading awareness, or what other steps have you been taking as a World Vision ambassador here?
Oh yeah. I've been spreading awareness, been talking to my family, to friends, to CFL fans. One thing that I wanted to do even more to be active about this is when at the end of our season, when I was injured, I wanted to do more. So I wanted to donate, right? And so I decided to start donating $200 for every sack. Mm-hmm. So I believe we finished with about 8 to 9 sacks. This was towards the end of the season. So
8 sacks, $1,600.
8 sacks, $1,600. I was able to donate that, and I felt really good about that. I mean, I'm just a small part of this overall thing, and I think for me that was a way for me to do my part, in a sense, right? To do my part, and I feel really good about that.
What does the future lie ahead with World Vision or as being a World Vision ambassador here?
I know for me, I want to keep spreading the word. I want to keep contributing however I can. I know that if they somehow are able to come up and figure out another trip to go to Kenya or wherever else, I would put my hand up and want to be a part of it.
And they do great work there. It's in this job, we're lucky to be around pro sports and around great athletes, coaches such as yourself, Bo. But learning about what World Vision Canada is all about is a rewarding part of it. And I'm happy to announce here, I'm going to make a donation. I'm gonna do my own donation, $100 to World Vision here. So. Happy to be a supporter, as they say. And Nik referenced it a little bit, I think, but Beyond Borders, we encourage people to check it out. If you want to know more about Bo's expedition to Kenya, we encourage people to check that out. It's all on the BC Lions YouTube channel. Bo, it's a bittersweet day, really, but any final thoughts, any final words you want to say before we wrap things up?
Man, it's been a hell of a ride. As always, man, go BC Lions, man. Go Lions, and I'll be there to support. You guys will see me around. I'm not gone forever. I'm a hometown kid. I'll be around, and I wish all my teammates, the coaching staff, an amazing 2025 season. And, man, let's go get it.
Yeah, you're not going far at all, and for that, we're thankful. Bo, congratulations again, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Bo. Congrats, man.
Bo Lokombo, always great to join us here. Congrats on a great career. First and Now brought to you by World Vision Canada, national charity partner of the BC Lions. You can visit bclions.com/worldvision to become a supporter. And we'll be back on First and Now with another episode later this week.